वेलकम पार्टिसिपेंट, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू रिज्यूम द सेशन। और ये जो सेशन है हमारा वो डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन जो है न्यू पैराडिज्म के ऊपर है। और हमारे बीच में जो हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन हैं वो डॉक्टर प्रजेश राय जी हैं। एट प्रेजेंट सर जो है लाइब्रेरियन है हमारे कैंपस ऑफ ओपन लर्निंग के अंदर। सर ने 1996 में दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी ज्वाइन किया था और अप्रोक्स 30 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस जो है सर के पास है। और मेरे ख्याल से भाई जो हमारे बाहर के पार्टिसिपेंट हैं शायद उनको एक सर के बारे में जानने का होगा, लेकिन जहाँ तक यूनिवर्सिटी फ्रेटर्निटी की बात है, सर किसी पहचान के मोहताज नहीं है। और बहुत ही वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस सर का लाइब्रेरी के फील्ड में है और बहुत कुछ ऐसा नया है जो सर ने इम्प्लीमेंट किया है। और अभी कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस का जो हमारा कैंपस ओपन लर्निंग का है उसमें सर का बहुत ही ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन है। तो ज़्यादा समय ना लेते हुए मैं सर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि हम सेशन को स्टार्ट करें। ओवर टू यू सर।
Thank you so much. Very good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to have you with us this session. The topic we have chosen, distance education shift paradigm. So the idea behind choosing this topic is to see what is the right now it is why we have chosen this topic, because it is very much important in today's date, how we are going to looking towards the new education policies and how we are going to educate our countrymen, what the possibilities and what is the new role in a higher education system. So we'll look into that. At the same time, what we need to see, what we are, who we are, where from, and what exactly our ancestors already taken care of in the in knowledge paradigm. So we'll start the distance education new paradigms. It's a topic which for the everybody, I think it relate to the new emerging education policies of India. Now, coming to the first slides, it has seen Asumudran Dakshin Dhruv Payat Abadhit Jyotirmarg. If you visit Somnath temple, there you will find at the corner there is a one monument kind of thing, and this statue is there. There written in Sanskrit language, this is Asumudran Dakshin Dhruv Payat Abadhit Jyotirmarg, means from here, if we put a light, it will directly goes to the south pole of the earth. There is no land in between. There is no land in between. So it is the creation in the 14th century. It is the creation of the 14th century. So we can remember our ancestor was created this. That time there was no Google map. There was no satellite system. But our ancestors were rishis. They have created that one. So they knows that there is no soil in between that point to the south pole of the earth. Can I go next? मुझे दे दीजिए आइकन, ये तो मेरा हर रोज का। And if you see, just have a look to this map, that from that to North Pole, there is no land. South Pole, there is no land. It is in the Somnath temple. Now coming to the another important aspect, the significance of 108. So everywhere, it is said that we breathe 21,600 times in a 24 hours of a period. Half 10,800 at solar energy breathe and rest of the lunar energy breathe. So 100 multiplied with 108, it is equal to 10,800. So every Upanishad, it is 108. Primary Tantras is 108. Chapters of the Rig Vedas is 108. There are many examples which signifies our ancient knowledge system. If we put 108 moons from Earth to Moon, it is almost 1080 miles. On the other hand, if you put 108 sun from Earth, it is the same 43,000, 4,32,000 miles from here. So here you would see the significance of 108, the distance between from the Earth and the Moon and the Earth from the Sun. So that signifies that's why the 108 is very much important in our rituals life. We normally pray, we normally urge everybody chant Shiv mantra for a 108 time, or Vishnu mantra for a 108, or Devi mantra for a 108. It is not, it is correlate with the other significant entities in the universe. So that's our knowledge paradigm. That's what we are, basically. Coming to the gravitation. Shiromani Bhaskaracharya mentioned about the force of attraction before Newton. Newton came later. P. Johnston, he told, he's a European scientist, he's told gravitation was known to the Indian before the birth of Newton. The system, blood circulation, was discovered by them centuries before Harvey was heard of. So the blood circulation system, the gravitational force, the everything which created and discovered by our saint, our rishis, our ancestor. On the other hand, mathematics in the pi value. The value of pi was first calculated by Buddhayana in 5th century AD. Explain the concept of what is known as the Pythagoras theorem. It discovered in the 15th century, long before European mathematicians. So you can understand the significance of our contribution to our ancestor. Now coming to the another important aspect. Oh, right. Yes, 4th century. Panini was the first to come up with the idea of letter alphabets, the present number. Not only that, Panini was also creator of the different classification system, knowledge classification system. The knowledge travel is Arab countries from the Europe to West, but normally it's happened. If you go Arabian area, so it's told Hinsa. Hinsa means Hindse. So the zero was discovered by the who is discovered zero, sir? Anybody? Could you tell me? Any participants? Okay, let's think on that. Let's think on that. So before zero was discovered by us, but it has taken to the Arab. So in Arab, people says Hinsa. They told zero Hinsa. That means Hind say India. It has came from India. So this is the way people has contributed in the every aspect of knowledge system in this earth. Brahmagupta was first mathematician to treat zero as a number. Then Hockben, in his books, Mathematics for the Million, there has been more revolutionary contribution than the one which India made when they invented zero. Albert Einstein is a famous scientist who told, we owe a lot to the Indian who thought we have to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could here been made. So the people, the greatest scientists of the earth, has acknowledged the contribution of Indians in science. Surgery, modern plastic surgery is originated in India. Let me tell you one important anecdote on that. In the era of Ashoka, his son Kunal got hurt in his eyes when he's playing with the bow and arrow. So when he got hurt in his eyes, he took him to a hospital in Takshila University, and his eyes was treated, and he was fine. He was recovered. My question is, who has done this surgery? Eye surgery on that time. I'm talking in the era of 600 BC. Who did that, and where he has written about that operation system? So you can imagine Sustra, the Indian physician, 4th century, everybody has contributed so much of enormous knowledge. We are fortunate enough to born this country because we got a wonderful ancestor along with us, the scientists, the rishis, was full of knowledge, even yoga. It has existed 5,000 years back. Till date, it meant for the modern life. People are urging to do the yoga in this modern era. So that's the sustainability of the thought process. That's the adaptability of the thought process. It is no old. It is till our date important to every Indian, not only Indian, everybody in the universe. Even Swami Vivekananda talked about yoga, and he spread the knowledge of yoga in 19th century to the whole Western world. This is one of the finest acts he has done. Astronomy, the knowledge, Brahmagupta, he calculated the eclipse. Surya Siddhanta, Lata Deva talked about the Earth orbits called Sumegu. That is the Earth sphere. It is rotate on its own orbit, known to Baraha Mihir and other Indian astronomers, much more. Copernicus published in theory. It is not, we are not talking. The Jewish encyclopedia talked about everything. They talked about Baraha Mihir. They talked about Lata Deva, Sumegu, the calculation, the rotation in the solar system, the Earth, the orbit. On the other hand, discovering measurement of time, nomenclature of days, month, year, invention of the calendar, making was made. Till date, we, in the morning, I think I normally check what is the best possible time frame today, what is Amrita Yoga, what is Rahu Yoga. So it is written in the Dainik Panchang. So that is old knowledge was created and described by our ancestors. 7 planets, solar system effect with the Earth atmosphere. Their names were added to the 7 days of the week, which was accepted all over the world. That's the interesting part. Games, chess, ludus, they're snackers. They're all contributed by the Indians, our ancestor, for Indian game. Julius Robert Opimius, the father of atomic bomb, he told, was the atomic test in Amelgorda, in the first nuclear blast. He said, yes, in modern time. But in Mahabharata, tells about the effect of Brahmastra, and the description matches the result of an atomic blast. So this is a wonderful idea how people used to calculate. The people who are really knowledgeable in this are talk about Indians. They acknowledge the idea of every Indian. So India is not a land. It is an idea. It's a knowledge system. Coming to the other. So our knowledge system preferably started with the idea of Shrutis, Vedas, how people used to listen, people used to remember all those important paras, chapters, anecdote, mantras. So people used to, and that is not even written. It is carry on for a longer period with their brain itself. So everybody, so brain was so enriched, people used to carry forward that knowledge. So that's wonderful way of generating of knowledge among the masses. Is a preaching. We pray to the God. We pray to the God in a silent mode. With a different posture, we have a different God. Because we know power cannot be sustained for one particular place. It's centralized. So it's a democracy approach in the knowledge system. The idea. If you look, the idea of recitation, citing others' name. If we recite Hanuman Chalisa, at the end we talk Tulsi Dasa Sadahari Chera. Why we take the name of that person? Because he has created, because he is the main contributor of that. So we cite them, we acknowledge their contribution when we chanting mantras to Hanumanji. So our system of acknowledging is endless. It's history. It's ancient. It's not modern. Coming to the Argala Sutram. When we start Argala Sutram, we tap either Markandeya Vacho or sometimes Brahma Vacho. So we take the name of the person who has created these particular mantras. That means we are citing that name, acknowledging the contribution of that person. On the other hand, now we have a based university system. Even Argala Am I audible, sir? Anybody? आप लोग है ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Not only Argala Stotram. If you go for the Kunjika Stotram, if you go for the Adda Stotram, everywhere, when you recite the mantras, you will see that we take the name of the rishis who has created that particular mantras, or the name of the god who has created the mantras. Even Kunjika Stotram, we talk about the Shiva, because Shivji has created that mantras. So it is our ancient thought process, our religious thought process. It's not a religion, basically. It's a process of our ancestor who is creating those mantras. Because writing a mantras is a very difficult task. Writing a poetry is a very difficult task. When they have created such a mantras for paras and paras, so when we recite all those mantras, we normally reciting their name also, citing. So referencing and citation is our own process. The concept of plagiarism is a modern day idea. If you go to the many of the countries, you will see majority of the Indian component, Indian entities there in their museum. So they're they have taken from here. Now, in 700 BC, we have a Takshila. Here the modern 10,500 students overall, the world student, more than 60 subjects used to studies over there. University of Nalanda, 4th century BC. Yensang came here and studied in Nalanda. Let me tell you one example. When Yensang was carrying with his all rags from the Leh Ladakh, there is one particular rags was dropped down. After finishing his education from here, when he returning back, he find the same rags was dropped out in the road, and he find that nobody has taken, even nobody has touched. So this is India. He has written in his scripture that is the Indian ethos. The people are so honest. So nobody touch even. So that's the idea of India. Now look at the other sides of India. What happened with us? The Arabia has claimed 363 BC to 850 BC. Then Turkey's invasion, 1000 CE to CE to 1206 CE. Then Mamluk dynasty came in 1206 CE to 1290 CE. The Khiljis came 1290s to 1320 CE. The Tughlaqs, 1320 CE to 1412 CE. The Shayyad Lodi dynasty, 1414 CE to 1526 CE. The Brahmais, Bahmans, 1346 to 1689. Then Mughals, 1526 to 1857. The Portuguese, the British. We have sum up the invasion officially in 1947. But till date, there are many countries in this earth who were trying to invade India logically, methodically, virtually. So what happened from 3636 CE to 1947 AD? There are many people came, attacked India, not only Indian soil, not only in our wealth, not only in our paddy field. The attack was on our mindset, our knowledge system. So what happened, which was created in the ancient era, Vedic period, the whole knowledge destroyed by all those invaders. Why I'm telling all those things? Look at the idea of freedom fighting. People says Britishers ruled India 200 years. I says no, it is not correct. Because India is ruled by Britishers only 40 to 50 years, because 100 years, people of India even doesn't understand that they are ruled by the Britishers. When the proactive Indian society's people, when started preaching everybody that we are under the British rules, so they transmit this idea by preaching, by telling people, making aware that we are ruled by Britishers. It takes 50 years of time. So actually our freedom fight is almost 40 to 30 years. And 40 to 30 years we are able to come up that we throw out the Britishers. So we have to understand it is not the idea invades or stolen of the clothes, of the money, or the gold. When your knowledge is stolen, then everything is stolen. So we have to understand what we need to do forward. What is our duties for the next generation? So I often say, this is basically knowledge eclipse. You do not know what. So many times you will find that many of the people are talking about many rishis, many goddesses, many events of India, because they do not know Indian history. Creating something, it's require one of the finest brain, cool and calm ideas, atmosphere, and what we possess, what we basically wanted to have. So this is called knowledge eclipse. ग्रहण लग चुका था इंडिया में knowledge system के ऊपर. ये knowledge system, it's a difficult task, because knowing something is good. I do not know, that is good, but knowing half of the things, it's difficult. So that's why I often say that it's a knowledge eclipse, grahan of knowledge. Now, within that period of time, when Britishers, we throw out the Britishers. If you go Albert Museum, London, even the British Museum, London, you will see the half of the British Museum is filled with the Indian object, Indian Devis, Indian goddess, Indian god, the statue. The best Ganesh statue is in the British Museum. So they stole it. Actually, why I'm talking all this thing important, because you should understand the plagiarism, the theft of knowledge. It is the idea. It is not our idea. It is the idea as taken by the Western world. Because India never been invaded any countries. We are open-minded people. So you open the door, people used to came and invaded, and they started doing whatever they have done with our generation. But interestingly, I will tell you, they came, they invaded, they stole a majority of the things and put it back to their countries. My question is, here we are talking about the plagiarism. And plagiarism, the crisis is the plagiarism. People used to say that it should not be more than 10%. But interestingly, I will tell you, in the name of plagiarism, what we are doing, we are purchasing majority of the software. And within software, we are paying crores of rupees. Even in SOL, I have seen, here in Delhi University, I have seen was almost 1 crore rupees for plagiarism. Chori pakadne ke liye. But the idea of plagiarism is not ours. It came from the other words. What we are doing, in the name of plagiarism, we are putting our people who has written some of the text article, we are putting in their databases. And databases not in Indian soil. That is in other places of the earth. It could be a Russia, it could be a USA, some of the Serbia. So what they usually do, they usually create a kind of mapping our knowledge system, Indian knowledge system, recent years. And they are taking a business model out of that. So the data is usually they are selling to the commercial people. So that's the idea. So today's date, you will see that's the biggest problem with the plagiarism, but I will tell you that it's not idea, because from the ancient period, we used to cite the people who has written. Now, what we need to do, what has required to do, from 1947 to today date, how we have come up with our own ethos, own ideas, and own way of doing things. Now look at in number of university in 2016 to 17 it was 864. Now 2020 to 21 it is almost 1,100. Now right now probably 19. So that much of inclination and increment in the university system where we talked about the higher education system. Here you can see the incremental process. It is for the other higher education system. The number of colleges in 2016 and 2000, it was 40,026. And here you can see that we have a 43,796 up to 2021. The numerous number of development. You can see the development within 2017 to 2021. Now it's more than that. This number of colleges here, this is the way has to grow now. On the other hand, number of universities and educational institute registered basically. There's a central university, deemed university public, institutional policies. Now state private university, state public university is that right that way from 2017 to 2021. On the other hand, university as per specialization. If you have a very low, the general university system in India was more often it's general in that sense, it's a multidisciplinary. Then agriculture, then law, management, medical, Sanskrit, science, sports, technical, and other. So the contribution of agriculture university is almost 6%. Law, its general is 56%. Law is 3%. Management probably it's 17%. And medical is a 2%. It's 6%. Sanskrit is the 2%. Science 2%. Sports and yoga probably 1%. Technical and other universities. So this is a map of Indian university system in India. How we are going to now in the college you will see the private aided university is like that almost 65%. Private aided. It is private unaided is that, private aided is that, government is only 21.4%. 21.4%. That's the percentage of university. Now, interestingly, I will tell you, we have a growing population. There's a huge growth in population. How we are going to educate our children, coming generations? who are going to born, because everywhere you will find, you have seen, you have visualized, you have experienced that when your son or daughter goes into the higher class, and where it is almost a tough time for every Indians to get into them into their choiceable college or educational institute. It's a struggle. It is not only applied for me, every Indians. It's a struggle almost that. So the same struggle will be carried forward. It is not for me, for everybody, not for us, for coming generation, for the coming generation. So we need to understand how we are going to cope with the majority of the population of India. Now, 29% of the Indian scenario, the education, dropout education, 29% of the students drop out in school in India. 43% of 15 to 90 years old girls drop out of school in India. So that's the crisis. On the other hand, we have a school education system. Student usually enrolled in school 26.5 crores. But when you talked about the higher education, it is only 4.14 crore. How we are going to cope with these challenges? You can see almost 18 crore is gap. How we are going to educate our children in higher education? School education, somehow we are able to come up in a good way. But when you talk about the higher education, it is a challenge. It is not a challenge for me. The challenge, if we not address on this issue, it will goes up and up and up and up. So that's the crisis. That's the criteria. Now,
85% dropout rate, brother.
yes, sir. So difficult. Now, how we have contributed to that? Now, state public university is registered, then state private university, then institute of national importance, this is that, deemed university, central private university, and deemed university government, state open university is a 16, deemed university government at a 10, institute of state legislature act 6, state private open university 1, central open university 1. It is the total number of university. Now here we can see 70%, 72% is the college. Only 22.3% is the university. And standalone institute, only 5%. So it's a kind of pyramid time. You have a school, then higher. But the challenge is that is the brilliant student come up in school, how we can make him adopt in the higher education. Probably we'll find some of the best brain. Uttar Pradesh, you have almost 36 lakhs, 69,318 male and female ratio. Male and female. Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Bengal, Rajasthan, Bihar, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Gujarat. This is a male and female academic ratio, enrollment ratio. Now, here you can see level-wise distribution of estimated enrollment number. Undergraduation, the total pop 78.91%. PG diploma is 0.54%. Integrated 1.06. PhD 0.49%. Diploma 6.74. Postgraduate 12.06. Certificate 0.1. And MPhil almost nil because we don't require MPhil. So no use. So this is the scenario of higher education system in India. Undergraduate is 78.91%. Postgraduate is 12.06%. It's the biggest gap. How we are going to challenge, how we are going to talk, how we are going to address this challenge. That is the challenge. That's why this distance education. If you look at the idea, majority, we forgot the skill-based program. So BA 34.2%, BSc, BCom, BTech, this is the percentage. So this is a percentile you can conceive the idea. Indian origin are more inclined towards the BA, arts oriented, because they wanted to think, they wanted to dream, they wanted to write, they wanted to talk. So it is not true, because Indian mathematician, Indian brain on science is one of the most beautiful brain in this earth. This is MA Masters. And if MA Master, it's almost 40.7% people used to get in higher education, get into the BA, become masters, master on arts, then master on science, MBA, then came up MC and MTech and other. So it's again a kind of monumental things. So you can understand where is that. Now, if you go for the enrollment number, now look at the idea of enrollment, which is very important. It's a state public university. State public university. 29,80,508 students normally get into admission. Then state open university, 18 lakh almost. State private university, 16 lakh 16,000. Now central open university, it's a 12 lakh 60,000, almost 61,000. Deemed private university, central university, you can see that. But what is the key area? Why I am here today? If you look at the state public university, is 29 lakh. But if you state open university and add the central open university, state open university total enrollment is almost 18 lakhs, and central open university is almost 12 lakh 60,000. So here 12 and 18, it is almost these numbers could be almost 31 lakh. So that means in distance education, in our country, 31 lakh students is to get admissions, which is more than the state public university, state university. So that's the scarcity. That's why we need to address how we need to refine the distance education system in India. And yes, after doing all those things, it is also till there will be a gap. So we need to address in different way. It is not the distance. We need to think differently in other way. It could be online mode, it could be OLDC mode or something like that. But we have to be prepared from day to day first, today. Otherwise, we cannot able to cope with the coming challenges. So that's the crisis. Now, Central University is that other PhD and postgraduate. This is the intake. It's intake. Now, we have already discussed on that. Now, there is always gap in the government, 34.8%. Private aided, 20.6%. Where the private unaided, which is completely private university. So they have a maximum number of intake, but normally there is a gap. People don't used to get into that particular university. So what is the choice of Indian mindset? They wanted to study higher education in the government organization. So how government organization need to be addressed on that particular issues. So it's the biggest challenge, biggest idea. Now, coming to the other important aspect. This is a kind of enrollment in crore. It has increased from 2018 to 2022, it's 4.33 crore. It's a drastic change in increment in the enrollment. Bachelor in Arts, Science, Commerce, Technology, BTech, BEd, these are the important courses which people used to get into admission. Sometimes pharmacognosy, pharmacology, pharmacy. This is on master degree, Master of Arts, MBA, MCom. See, then enrollment important program, the UG and PG level in distance education. This is the total scenario. It has increased from 2017 to 2021. It was almost 16,51,000. It has came in 2021, 19,46,000. It's a biggest increment. Not only for the arts, it is for the majority of the subject. So that's the challenges. 72 higher education institutes have recognized by the UGC, DEB, Department of Distance Education Board, to offer ODL program in academic year 2022-23. So every year they used to review. On review, Regulation 2023 HEI have been accorded recognition to offer program through online mode also. So we have to, besides distance education, we are also thinking how we are contribute to the society by education through online mode. And probably today we can, after COVID, we can understand the importance of that particular area and how we are going to educate our children in a remote village by sitting in a good cities. On the other hand, UGC has provided a financial support to the majority of the institute. You can see majority of the Open University, they got 111 crore rupees from University Grant Commission. So that means government has inclined towards the distance education. They have understood that there is a requirement of the distance education because every Indian, each young boys and girls cannot able to afford afford not in the importance. It's basically the critical crisis of a regular education system, because it is not only taking admission. Suppose I am residing in Jharkhand, Ranchi. I have to come Delhi. I have to stay over there. I have no neighbor. I do not know to this city. And I have to stay. I have to study. I have to feed myself. So it's not only the financial. On the other hand, it is also the psychological aspect also. How we are going to address all those challenges when you talk about the distance online, it could be reduced as stress of a young mind. Yes, also, UGC also frames guidelines to academic programs simultaneously. So if there is a student want to have the other program besides regular program, so they can opt. So government understood that there is a requirement of two degree also, dual degree system, and they adopted. Here you can see there are state open university, central university. These are the central university who has a ODL distance mode, state university also. There's a numerous number, 37, almost 53 open university system are there. And Indira Gandhi National Open University is one of the finest, renowned institutions. They're now coming to our requirement, our requirement that I'm basically joint director campus of Open Learning University of Delhi. So my area now for a time, but I'm a librarian cadre. So I came as a joint director over here. So my area, I've been associated with the distance education from last 26 years. So my area, how we are going to adopt everything and new thing in the campus of Open Learning, in School of Open Learning. We have introduced many new courses. Now we have it has started in the year 1962. That is one of the premier institute in India. And you can understand in 1962, it has started. So what is the status of this particular university? Majority of open university, other open university has learned, even distance correspondence university, they have learned everything from School of Open Learning, University of Delhi. And we have introduced new courses, many new courses, MBA, library science, psychology. There are numerous courses. And these courses are running nicely. We have a huge number of intake. We have 11 postgraduate, undergraduate degree, 2 library science degree, MLIs, and which is being treated as a postgraduate degree. So almost 8 postgraduate degree, and on the other hand, 1 postgraduate diploma in automated and digital library, that is PG courses. So these are the status of our institute, and we are cashiering in Delhi. But interestingly, I will tell you, we have been restricted. We've been restricted within the Delhi. So that's why people used to take admission, but they have to appear, they have exam in Delhi itself. So these are the new courses and wonderful courses, professional courses. We have a numerous number of study materials uploaded there. We have a wonderful interactive, and we are creating a lot of videographies and virtual classroom kind of system and online class up system. We are also thinking to shift to the online mode also majority of the time, basically some of the important subject which is required for the coming years. So these are the website where we can get majority of the study materials uploaded over here. Students can get. Now, if you look at the statistics, that is survey on skill of India and other countries. So Japan is almost very high. Then India, Brazil, Turkey, Mexico, Greece, Australia, Spain, right there. So we require to have a skill-based educational system. So that's why we have started, because there is a need of skill-based employability over here. Now here you can see we have created a skill-based innovation system where we have a majority medical transcription, AC refrigerating, beauty and hair, stenographer, radio jockey system, animation system, and photographic and graphics, everything's there. So it's a short-term course at a very less fees from recognized institute, University of Delhi. So people used to do it. There are 18 courses as running on right now. More than that, we have a number of courses, was of course there, but right now we have 18 courses as running. Besides this, we are more focused in the content development, educational technology laboratory, world-class audio and video studios. We have a call radio, content creation workshop, orientation program. That's we often do. We have a U library, and I will tell you, this is one of the first institutes in the world which were giving the accessibility of e-resources among the all students was enrolled in School of Open Learning. So we have created emails for everybody and has accessibility of daily e-library system. So almost last year, Honorable Vice President Sir came and appreciated everybody in our foundation day, and has our student got gold medal last year. Were 2 students, you can see both of them, one from library science, other from political science. So both of them has got gold medal. It's from BLIs. We are also doing some of the important aspects of how to educate transgender on skill-based education system. This year, I will tell you, with my pleasure, with my full of thoughts, that we got our 4 students got gold medal. One, Ritika from history, then Bidhi from MCOM, and Kunal from Master in Library Information Science, and Narendra from MBA. So I will tell you that School of Open Learning education, the examination pattern is normally conducted by the University of Delhi. There is no difference between the regular questions and examination system, and it is same. So those boys and girls are competing with the regular student and came up with a gold medal. So that's why in first year we thought maybe they got it, but this year we thought that okay, they will get it. So that's the difference of thought, the ideas. And that's why I will tell you, when you come up with a distance education, or because we are still poor, we are not richest country in this earth. So we have to cope along with that. Our children require education, better education. We have to provide, we have to create ambience for them. Either it could be online, distance, or do it for the next generation. And we did it, and we can see the result. Those girls and boys competed with the regular children, and they came up with the gold medal. That's the beauty of this country, because every children is important to us. अब उसके बाद भी करना है हाँ? अभी फिर दूसरा करना है. Okay, now these are the factors, and so I will take break, then I will come. Okay, thank you.
Online participant, there will be a break of 10 minutes, then we will resume again.
Yes, sir. Yes.
मैंने एक चीज देखा,
ये लगे वो लास्ट वाला
ये वाला था सर,
ये
ये सर।
चलो खत्म करो ना नहीं ये जरूर सर एक आप ले लीजिए
मैं ये कह रहा था
Welcome back, participant. Now we are going to resume the session, the last session of the day.
ये बस शेयर कर देंगे। हाँ,
ये दूसरा खुला हुआ इसमें से तो नहीं है?
ये हो सकता है।
उसको एक बार और
स्टॉप कर दो, बिल्कुल स्टॉप शेयर कर दो। हाँ। हाँ, लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ। कोई काम था? बाबू की उसमें जो अलमीरा है उनके अंदर है तो। वो एक बार देख लो, मैं लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ। बाबू की जो अलमीरा है उसमें शीशे वाला है।
ये विजिबल है स्क्रीन आपको, ऑनलाइन पार्टिसिपेंट?
हाँ सर, हाँ सर, हाँ सर।
Yes.
कौन सी वाली है?
टॉप 10 कंट्री साइंटिफिक रिसर्च वाली जो
ये
है।
वाली है, हाँ। So, thank you so much. We have come to this conclusion that if you look at the idea of India and India Research Mind, we are almost fifth in the world research mind as per Scopus database. So, and the percent of research publication produced, before it was Iran, and it was the first, almost 10.99%, where India is at 10.73. We are second most producer of the research paper in this world. So we can understand that we have a brain, we need opportunity, because we have a brain. We have already established that people from our generation, our country, genetically they are ours. So they have already reached in a top positions. They conquered the world. They are in a top position. So we can do it. We can do together, because alone we cannot do. We need to have a people, and we need to do. We have to do it for our coming generation, not for us. Thank you so much for this PPT.
We are going to have another session on the digital library.
Digital library. वो वाली। आप दे दो सर मुझे मार्क्स। थैंक यू। यस,
आप लोग जानते हैं कि भाई किताबों का कितना महत्व होता है, और अगर किताबें ही अवेलेबल ना हो तो ना हम शायद पढ़ पाएंगे, ना रिसर्च कर पाएंगे, ना कुछ कर पाएंगे। और इसकी इजी एबिलिटी जो है, ठीक है, एक्सेसिबल टू ऑल अगर होगा तभी शायद जो है, कहते हैं मोदी जी का आजकल वो भी है कि पढ़ेगा इंडिया तभी बढ़ेगा इंडिया, और स्किल इंडिया। तो सर ने जो भी चीजें बताई हैं कि स्किल बेस्ड कोर्सेज बहुत सारे हमने कैंपस ऑफ ओपन लर्निंग में स्टार्ट किए हैं। डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी वगैरह का भी हम लोग जो है बड़ा एक हमारा नेटवर्क जो है बन गया है, जिससे कि इजी एक्सेसिबिलिटी जो है रिसोर्सेज के पास रहे, किसी के पास ये ना रहे कि वो कुछ पढ़ना चाह रहा है उसको वो ना मिले। तो इसी संदर्भ में सर का जो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है वो हमारा डिजिटाइजेशन के ऊपर है, जिसमें हम लाइब्रेरी को कैसे डिजिटाइज करके जो है कैंपस ऑफ ओपन लर्निंग में और नए आयाम जोड़ सकते हैं, जहां बच्चों को पढ़ने के लिए जो है बहुत सारी हमारे को रिसोर्सेस अवेलेबल होंगे। नाउ सर अगेन।
Thank you so much, sir. The concept I have taken out, it's not what libraries hold, its accessibility has greater significance in Indian initiative. Now, important is people have a mindset that, okay, library is there, library means knowledge house. A knowledge house cannot be kept as a store. That need to be shared. The knowledge is only in this art, which has no kind of depreciation in giving to the radiation, right? So that's why the topic is, it's what libraries holds. Important नहीं है कि लाइब्रेरी में कितना होल्ड हो रहा है, उनकी एक्सेसिबिलिटी इंपॉर्टेंट है. That's why the topic is. And why this is important, let's have an anecdote. This part of this art, this is basically Arabian area. There was a time they are more enriched with the ideas, they more enriched with the new innovation, ideas, discoveries, and people used to be more proactive and more modern. But what happened? In 1545 AD, Gutenberg has started. But what happened with the Iran? When first book came in Germany, 1455, Iran first book printed in Iran in 1817. So almost 400 years, almost 350 years, 300 after invention of the printing press, after 350 years, Iran printed the book. I always blamed one person.
Iran printed the book?
Iran printed after इन्वेंशन ऑफ, मैंने जर्मनी में 1455 में प्रिंटिंग प्रेस शुरू हुआ और पब्लिश भी हुआ, लेकिन ईरान की ऑटोमन सुल्तानत सेकेंड, उन्होंने बैन लगा रखा था कि मेरे कंट्री में कोई भी बुक प्रिंट नहीं होगा, सब हैंड रिटन चलेगा. तो हुआ क्या, ईरान में क्राइसिस हुआ, ईरान डेवलप ही नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि नॉलेज शेयर नहीं हुआ. और यूरोप, उसमें क्या हुआ, यूरोप में एक किताब छपती थी, मतलब किताब छपने की मतलब क्या है, एक न्यू नॉलेज बनी, वो नॉलेज पूरे सोसाइटी में रेडिएट हो गए. नॉलेज मतलब सोसाइटी, आप लोग अगर मतलब इफ यू नो वन ऑफ द स्टोरी, प्रोफेसर यशपाल थे जो चेयरपर्सन थे यूजीसी की और फिजिक्स के बड़े प्रोफेसर थे. वो एक दिन मुझे बता रहा था कि हम लोग इंडिया में जब टेलीविजन शुरू करने जा रहे हैं, दिल्ली दूरदर्शन, तो हमने पहले राजस्थान में एक गांव में हमने टेलीविजन हर इवनिंग में 2 घंटे करके दिखाने की शुरू की. तो दिखाने की मतलब यह है कि उस गांव में इस वजह से दिखाते थे, वहां की गांव के लोग नहाते भी नहीं थे. तो जब टीवी देखने लगे, वो टेलीविजन की डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम देखने लगे, तो वहां गांव की बच्चे कुंभ करने लगे, कंघी करने लगे, नहाने लगे और श्रृंगार करने लगे, महिला बच्ची. तो लोग थोड़ा अच्छे रहने लगे. तो उनके सोसाइटल जो मतलब लिविंग स्टाइल है वो अपलिफ्ट हुआ देख के. नॉलेज का यही है, नॉलेज अगर रेडिएट नहीं करेंगे, नॉलेज अब तक नहीं पहुंचेंगे, तो समाज डेवलप नहीं करेगा. और यही यहां पे हुआ था. यूरोप एक तरफ बहुत डेवलपमेंट हो गया, पूरे यूरोप आज के दिन में भी दे आर डेवलप. बट आप अरब में देखो क्या हाल हो रहा है, हर रोज कुछ ना कुछ लड़ाई. आज भी अगर वहां नॉलेज रेडिएट हो जाता, और ये व्यक्ति है जिन्होंने नॉलेज रेडिएट करने में, अटमान सुल्तानत सेकेंड. सो दैट टाइम पीपल यूज्ड टू राइट द बुक. अब प्रॉब्लम क्या होगा, नॉलेज बैरियर बनना शुरू हो गया. कितने बुक आप राइट करोगे, कितने लोग लिखेंगे, प्रिंट में तो हजारों बुक्स लिख सकते हैं. सो दैट्स द क्राइसिस स्टार्ट हुआ. तो नॉलेज रेडिएट नहीं हुआ, तो नॉलेज ग्रहण हुआ. यही एक नॉलेज, दिस इज ऑल्सो अ नॉलेज एक्लिप्स. पहले क्या होता था, पीपल यूज्ड टू कीप एवरीथिंग इन द टेम्पल, चर्च और मॉस्क, वहां पे लाइब्रेरीज होते थे, बुक्स रखते थे. पीपल यूज्ड टू रीड combinedly. So this is an era where people used to sit, they used to read. So why people used to sit? Because there's a public library transformed, because this library cannot be accessible by everybody. So this library is accessible for everybody. It's for the public. So whatever information, knowledge is coming, so that can be radiated from here. And that's why you know the idea of knowledge radiation is right that way. Mobile library system. It's not only India. After independent, we have a different library system used to spread the books to educated the people of India. So that's why the mobile library is to radiate the knowledge among the countrymen. But things has changed. It is not like when we born in a different atmosphere. We do not have these kind of devices. We used to born with the nature, but the children today is born with the devices because they required it. It's a need of the day. They have to, otherwise they will be obsolete. So that's why people are more into PUBG like. So how we can how we are going to serve them? So we need to create a different kind of ambience for them. We need to create a different kind of facilities, approaches. We need to create an ambience for them. So that's why the NKN, Knowledge Commissions, they've connected National Knowledge Network, every university, every colleges, higher educational institute connected with the internet, 100 Mbps connectivity. It is not for messaging, it is not for emailing, to share the knowledge, to interact with along together. I'm sitting in Delhi and we are connected. So that's the place of Knowledge Commission. Here in Delhi University, we have this kind of technology. We have 100 PBS, which is an NKN Internet and SC, different colleges connected with that. There are possibilities. In school level, we usually National Council of Educational Research, NCRT, they have an app, e-Pathshala Scan, Umang. So here also we have a different kind of books. Even CBSE, if you see, they are more transformed them. Why they have transformed? Because generation has transformed. So that's why they have created digital library, digital books over there. And if we at one click, people used to get more and more books on their demand. It's open for everybody, for every Indian citizen. We call e-consortium. It's a reservoir of the knowledge. So what exactly the consortium is? It's a cooperative acquisition. Means हम सब लोग मिलके एक ही डेटाबेस, एक डिफरेंट डेटाबेस सब मिलके सब डिफरेंट डेटाबेस खरीद रहे हैं और एक ही जगह रख रहे हैं और वहां से हम यूज करेंगे. ये ऑलमोस्ट एक रिजर्वर की तरह, चारों तरफ से पानी आके एक जगह बैठ जाएगा. सो चार डिफरेंट पब्लिशर से हम ई रिसोर्स खरीदेंगे, एक जगह रखेंगे और एक ही कनाल से, टनल से हम निकालेंगे उस पानी को और सभी लोग हम यूज करेंगे. सो द सेम आइडिया इज देयर. पुट एवरी resource at one place and take it will be used by everybody in Indian soil. That's called e-consortia. We came into in consortia. Then higher education electronics reservoir. We have almost 1,64,000 books, 10,000 e-books, 1,64,000 e-papers, article. Then more than 3,020 to 200 colleges are there connected with that. So it's a kind of reservoir. So from here, Shodh Sindhu, it's a filtration. Now it has changed to the Turnitin or Gilbert, but it's a filtration of research. Now this is called Enlist. This Enlist, through this Enlist, here this is for higher education, postgraduate, but Enlist is for the college, the undergraduate students. Here, every student got ID, they can access everything from their home. So this is a remote login system. For this, every student of India, undergraduate, has the facility to log in and get access 1,64,000 books and almost 10,000 e-journals from this particular website. But the student need to be an Indian student affiliated with at least one university colleges. Now, here is some of the downloads. JSTOR is one of the e-resource giant. Indian journals, H.W. Wilson, Oxford University Press, Royal Society of Chemistry, Institute of Physics, American Institute of Physics, Annual Review. These are the publishers. And if you see the range of accessibility in 2018-19, this is the scenario. People are more into the accessing of e-resources. Here, e-books. And you can see the eBrain, Net Library, Springer, Sage, Taylor and Francis, OSO, ISA, HPA. So they are more into the important and the way people are accessing those e-resources, e-books. Now, besides this, India has a better initiative to open access initiative. What is exactly that? Because importantly, I will tell you, suppose a student from 12th pass are searching soil erosion in a Google. If they are searching soil erosion, it is going to give you lakhs of pages. I do not know from where I am getting that information. Who is written on that? Suppose if I am talking on library science, of course, that will be more reliable. But if I talk on medical science, it is not going to meet the challenge. So it could be a false information. So remember, every information in internet could not be a reliable, authoritative information. So you need to have to understand the authority of that information and reliability of information. So that's why Government of India, through Influminet, create a better ambience of open access initiative. And that particular initiative is taken care by the Influminet and written in a subject categorization. Suppose I am clicking on knowledge or statistics or any of the important or specific or major knowledge, it will give you the majority of the important e-resources available in the internet. If we click on that, so it will going to give you the exact location of a particular book or particular resources. So that's why the things is came up. On the other hand, National Institute of, this is NISCARE, National Institute of Science and Communication, and previously it's called INSDOC. There were also open sources e-resources. So any student of India can access all those information. Then we have a Shodh Ganga. Shodh Ganga is basically, it's a reservoir of Indian thesis. There are more than, probably now it is 3 lakhs of theses are there in 2025. And every Indian thesis submitted in any university in India. So they are preferably can be accessible through that particular databases. So it's Shodh Ganga. So it's a reservoir of Indian PhD thesis. Previously, that was taken by the MPhil. Now that has been in different language also. It's a Hindi, Tamil, Gujarati, Bengali, Marathi. So there's multilingual facilities are there. So in lockdown period, you can see the quantum of pages, quantum of thesis being downloaded on that period. On the other hand, Shodh Gangotri, it's a research in progress. So these database are more often used to understand, to see the research in progress. Whenever a particular supervisor of a PhD scholar submits their report to the university, that is being taken care of and been uploaded to that particular databases. So update on a particular research can be seen from this database. So that's why it's called research in progress database, Shodh Gangotri. Then you have a EPJ Pathshala. There are thousands of lakhs of e-resources over there. Student had these are the initiative, open initiative. Adhan, some books for UG and postgraduate, undergraduate, postgraduate courses. There are numerous number of books. These are the books. Then Vidyamitra, then Shram Prabha. These are the ICARI e-Kalpa. It's an Android app which can be accessible, the e-resources. On the other hand, then e-Vidwan, we can have an expert from almost 63,605 and from 6,341 organization, and citation or content 9,32,583. So numerous number e-resources available over here on many of the discipline. E-Vidwan, E-Yantra, more on robotic. It's taken care by the IIT Bombay and E-Vidwan. So anybody wanted to learn robotic and something like that, they can have the best accessible portal, this one. Then Arnis, this is as we use social networking service like Facebook, Twitter, something. This is Indian social academic service, Indian research. The server of that escaped in India. So nobody can access our information. Nobody can create a business model for that, from that. So it is our record, our server, in our soil. Not like ResearchGate or academy. Here is there's a numerous number of records are there on different subjects: agriculture, biological, chemical, physical, medical, everything. Digital Library of India. This is a Digital Library of India. And this is one of the finest creation of India. Every Indian can access this particular digital library. So it is almost 6 lakhs of books are there. So one has to create, any Indian citizen can create the login ID for that and can access this National Digital Library. So this is created by IIT Kharagpur and connected with it. This is a national project. So that's why this is so much important. This is the only National Digital Library in India. This is our. If you look at the Indian participation in research, so different agencies like CSI, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Defense, DRDO, Indian Space Research, ISRO. So they are ranked 75th, 491, 569, 638. But on the other hand, they are first in India, 5th in India, 19th in India, 41st in India in 2000. So this is the Indian. You can see that Indian score in research and on science and engineering through Scopus database, incremental, developing. Besides this, we have a B.V. Giri, the mission of manuscript. This is a national archives. They have taken care of the digital materials on different topics. Then this is B.V. National Labor Institute. They have created huge number of digital resources for India. So open for everybody. Then National Museum digitizations. It is taken care by Department of Culture, Ministry of Tourism and Culture. So created majority of the important books in digital mind that is available too. This is also a collaborative with the NISCARE. So TKDL is a very important, and then they have majority on Ayurveda, Vijnani, Siddha, Yoga. Then another project, National Library of India, they have created also a digital library in their premises. But this is a part of the National Library, but National Digital Library is something else, which has a standalone, and they have created a majority of the information. And CDAC has also created a numerous number of digital copy. So India IGNCA, Kala Sampada, has taken up the Kala Sampada Digital Library, and they have created a huge number of digital resources. Then we have a B.V. Giri National Institute, I've already talked about. Indian Parliament Library. Majority of the content, discussion, reports been digitized in Parliament Library. That is all collected, kept in the library. Khuda Bakhsh Oriental Public Library also created photographs in digitals, manuscript in digital form. So this is also accessible for the students. Vidyamitra project. It's another important example of the teaser of knowledge in Sanskrit. So every Sanskrit are digitized in Vidyamitra, National Institute of Oceanography. So they have also, whatever important document on oceanology, they have created a digital library in Goa. So in Delhi also, digital library initiative began in 1988. So people used to do AICT has also done. Then MHRD, they are also done. Kharagpur. These people usually taken care of National Digital Library. Bangalore also, IIT Bangalore, IIT Bombay, Kozhikode, then Calicut. So everybody, Rourkela, they all contributed to the digital library. These are the Indian resources. We have already know that India has a progressive in research and publication, stand second in this world. So this is India's contribution. So we have a huge number of resources and create a better ambience for the new generation. So this is all about the national digital initiative, digital libraries, and the accessibility of the digital resources among the new generation, and the facility created by Government India for the academic institute throughout the country. Thank you so much, everybody.
Now online participant, that is all from our the resource person. Now the session is open for the discussion. अगर आप लोग कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं या कुछ इंटरेक्ट करना चाहते हैं तो आप पूछ सकते हैं हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन से. ऑनलाइन पार्टिसिपेंट, आर बी ऑडिबल?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
वो आप लोगों की कोई क्वेरी है या कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन से?
आप लोग है ना?
Yes, yes, sir.
मैं नॉर्मली इवनिंग में स्टूडेंट्स को जब क्लास लेता हूं तो बीच बीच में कहता हूं आप लोग है ना, फिर क्वेश्चन बता देता हूं ताकि वो तो वो तो रेडी रहे. बट आप लोग तो यू आर मच मोर अहेड ऑफ देम एंड सच अ वंडरफुल पीपल यू आर. बट आप लोग अगर फिजिकल होते तो और
पूछना है आप लोगों ने?
सर मेरे को एक चीज कहनी है सर, आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत ही अच्छी थी, मतलब हर चीज थी उसमें. तो प्लीज सर अगर आप शेयर कर देंगे पीपीटी हमारे साथ, कि फ्यूचर रेफरेंस के लिए भी बहुत काम आएगी.
ये यहाँ पे है सर.
वो हम शेयर कर देंगे ग्रुप में.
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर, बहुत ही अच्छी प्रेजेंटेशन थी आपकी. थैंक यू सर.
आप लोगों ने देखा जो सर ने बताया है, तो वो जो हमारी गवर्नमेंट की जो एनईपी पॉलिसी है वो उसी की लाइन के ऊपर है. क्योंकि सर ने आपको बताया, जैसे शुरू में सर ने आपको जो है ग्राफ के थ्रू भी बताया और देखा है कि भाई इंडिया में ड्रॉप आउट लेवल बहुत ज्यादा होता था. स्कूल से जाते जाते आपने देखा कि हायर एजुकेशन आते आते 85% जो है ड्रॉप आउट हो जाता था. तो और जो हमारा यहाँ था वो एकेडमिक रिफॉर्म भी मेरे ख्याल से बहुत टाइम से ड्यू था.
जी सर.
तो जो हमारे ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं उन्होंने देखा कि भाई बहुत ज्यादा चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं, इसीलिए फिर ये एनईपी हमारा जो है 2020 आया, जिसमें कि रीजनल लैंग्वेज में जो है हमारी एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन को प्रमोट करने की बात की गई. क्योंकि बच्चा इनिशियल स्टेज में है, उनको ये लगा कि भाई अपने रीजनल लैंग्वेज में शायद ज्यादा ग्रेस्प कर पाता है. इसी तरीके से अगर आप देखेंगे, जो हमारा डीन एकेडमिक मैडम का सेशन था, जो डीन एकेडमिक हमारी मैडम थी, उन्होंने बताया कि भाई कैसे कैटेगराइज कर दिया गया 4 ईयर कोर्स को जो है हर ईयर्स में. मींस एम्पल अपॉर्चुनिटी हर एक स्टूडेंट को दी गई है, वो चाहे भाई, क्योंकि जो ड्रॉप आउट का उसका रीजन देखा गया कि भाई किसी की फैमिली प्रॉब्लम थी, किसी को जॉब मिल गई, किसी को स्टेट चेंज करना पड़ गया. तो इन सब चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, जैसे कि रत्नावली मैम ने बताया कि हमने एक क्रेडिट बैंक भी शुरू किया है, जहां पर भी जो भी आपने एजुकेशन या स्किल आपने ऑब्टेन की है वहां पर वो जमा हो जाता है, उतने क्रेडिट जमा हो जाते हैं. फिर आपको लगता है कि नहीं, आई हैव द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू कंटिन्यू माई स्टडी, तो फिर आप वहां से शुरू कर सकते हैं. इसीलिए जो भी हमारा अंडर ग्रेजुएट का लेवल है उसको हमने फर्स्ट ईयर में जो है सर्टिफिकेट में, सेकेंड ईयर में डिप्लोमा, फिर ग्रेजुएशन विद रिसर्च ऑनर्स के साथ जो है ये सारी फैसिलिटीज इसीलिए की गई हैं. और जो सर ने बताया ये सब उन्हीं का एक पार्ट एंड पार्सल है कि भाई डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन को भी गवर्नमेंट बहुत ज्यादा प्रमोट कर रही है, डिजिटाइजेशन ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स हो रहा है, बुक्स हो रही हैं, कि जिससे रिसोर्सेस लोगों के पास अवेलेबल रहें और जो भी पढ़ना चाहे. तो जो एक मोहन मोटो ने बोला है कि मैंने बात पीछे भी आपको भी बताया कि पढ़ेगा इंडिया तभी बढ़ेगा इंडिया, स्किल इंडिया होगा तभी इंडिया जो है वो विकसित भारत बन सकेगा. तो इन सब मोटो को ध्यान में रखते हुए ही इस तरह के जो है एजुकेशनल में रिफॉर्म्स किए जा रहे हैं और हमारे सिलेबस जो है डिवाइस किए जा रहे हैं. और मेरे ख्याल से सर ने जितना अच्छा बताया कि भाई क्यों डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन की भी जरूरत पड़ी, क्यों हमारे को डिजिटाइज करने की जरूरत पड़ी, और क्या क्या रिसोर्सेस हैं या क्या क्या अवेलेबल सोर्सेस हैं जहाँ से कि हम इनको रिट्राइव कर सकते हैं, गेन कर सकते हैं, बुक्स वगैरह जो है हम देख सकते हैं। तो सर आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप अपना कीमती समय निकाल कर आए। आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू सर।
ठीक
मिलते हैं सर।
ठीक। अच्छा, दूसरा आप लोगों को याद होगा कि भाई हमने शुरू में ही कहा था कि एक ग्रुप प्रेजेंटेशन जो है वो लास्ट डे में होगा, और हमने टॉपिक भी दिया था और रिक्वेस्ट की गई थी कि भाई आप लोग जो है सबके मोबाइल नंबर भी शेयर किए गए थे, और एक ग्रुप में कौन कौन होगा है तो ABC ग्रुप करके हमने बना दिया था। लेकिन अभी तक हमारे पास किसी भी ग्रुप से कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आया कि किस ग्रुप ने कौन सा टॉपिक जो है चूज किया है। तो क्या आप लोग आपस में इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं ऑनलाइन पार्टिसिपेंट, या किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम आ रही है इस बारे में?
जी सर, कर रहे हैं कर।
ये सर कर रहे हैं सर।
कर रहे हैं, ग्रुप्स बने हुए हैं, हमने भी अपने अलग से व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स बनाए हैं, तो उसमें कर रहे हैं सर हम डिस्कस।
तो आपके जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बने हुए हैं, तो क्या आप अगर खुद भी देखेंगे तो भाई 13 to 14 पार्टिसिपेंट ही डेली जो है पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं। तो क्या आपसे बात नहीं होती कि भाई बाकी मेंबर क्यों नहीं पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं? आप उनको भी इनकरेज कीजिए, भाई इनरोल किया है, पेमेंट की है, इंस्टीट्यूशन ने उनको परमिशन दिया है, तो दे शुड अवेल दिस ओकेजन कि भाई हम कुछ गेन कर सकें। और क्योंकि
ठीक है
देखिए
सर।
सेकेंड वीक है, इन ए डे और टू सेकेंड वीक भी हमारा ओवर हो जाएगा, थर्ड वीक आते देर नहीं लगेगी, और फोर्थ वीक में हमारा प्रेजेंटेशन आ जाएगा। तो मैंने बताया था ना, दादी माँ के किस्से हैं कि कल करे सो आज कर, आज करे सो अब। तो हमें उस कंसेप्ट पे नहीं करना है कि आज करे सो कल कर और कल करे सो परसों। इतनी जल्दी क्या है, अभी तो पढ़े 2 वीक तो पता
सर
चलेगा
सब
कि
बिजी
टाइम
है।
निकल गया। तो मैं यही उम्मीद करूंगा कि भाई आप लोग जो है जल्दी से अपने ग्रुप में डिस्कस करके हमें शेयर कर दें कि कौन सा ग्रुप किस पे प्रेजेंटेशन करना चाह रहा है।
ठीक है सर, ठीक।
ठीक है जी। तो कोई और
ठीक
कुछ
सर।
कहना चाह रहा है, या हम एंड करें
सर,
आज का सेशन फिर?
सर बस एक डाउट है, जो फ्राइडे को टेस्ट जो आपने बोला है उसका थोड़ा डिटेल्स दे दीजिए सर, वो कैसे होगा, मतलब किस
देखिए
मोड पे?
टेस्ट में मैंने बताया कि भाई हो सकता है इट मे बी इन फॉर्म ऑफ क्वेश्चनरी, ठीक है, या इंडिविजुअल किसी भी, मान लीजिए पार्टिसिपेंट को जो है मैडम पॉइंट आउट करके पूछ सकती हैं, और जो भी क्वेश्चन या मान लीजिए कि भाई क्वेरी होगी दैट विल बी फ्रॉम द सेशन दैट हैज ऑलरेडी बीन कंक्लूडेड। जो फर्स्ट वीक से आपका सेशन थर्सडे तक होगा, उन्हीं सेशन के बीच में या उन्हीं से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन जो आपसे पूछे जाएंगे। तो इट मे बी द, है, आपका भाई क्वेश्चन हम दे दें, ठीक है, तो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में अगर क्वेश्चन मान लीजिए आता है तो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में शेयर हो जाएगा, जो भी फॉर्मेट होगा बाय टुमारो यू विल कम टू नो अबाउट दैट। तो इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि भाई जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट हैं वो एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व हों, जिससे उनको पता रहे कि भाई क्या क्या चीज़ें पढ़ाई जा रही हैं और बताई जा रही हैं, तो उससे भी उनको हेल्पफुल रहेगा। तो इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि अगर आप लोगों का अपना व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना हुआ है तो आप उनको मोटिवेट करें, जो पार्टिसिपेंट यहाँ ज्वाइन नहीं कर रहे हैं वो एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट करें, नहीं तो हमारे लिए भी मुश्किल हो जाएगा उनको असेस करना और सर्टिफिकेट देना, क्योंकि नाउ इट इज़ द सेकेंड वीक। और भाई अगर आपने इनरोल किया है तो क्लियर सी चीज़ है कि आपने अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन से परमिशन ली होगी। तो कोई फीडबैक भी हमारे पास नहीं आ रहा कि भाई क्या रीज़न है, या तो भाई उनको लग रहा है कि रिसोर्स पर्सन इतने बोरिंग है, जहाँ साहब इतने बोरिंग है कि चलो भाई आने की जरूरत ही नहीं है सामने,
नहीं
इनरोल
नहीं
कर
सर,
दिया
ऐसा
ठीक है,
नहीं।
हाँ लास्ट दिन जहाँ साहब को बाय बाय टाटा कह देंगे। तो
नहीं नहीं
ये मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपने ग्रुप में भी आप सबको जो है मोटिवेट कीजिए, और आप लोग करेंगे तो आपस में इंटरेक्ट करेंगे तो हो सकता है कि भाई वो लोग भी पार्टिसिपेट करें। चलिए ठीक है, तो
जी
दैट
सर।
इज ऑल फॉर द डे, वी विल मीट टुमारो। थैंक यू एंड
थैंक
गुड
यू
नाइट।
सर,
Thank you.
थैंक यू सर।
मिलते हैं सर।
ठीक है।
ठीक।